Welcome to Her Lights, your home for women's sports coverage. I'm your host, Erin Foley, a stand-up comic, TV writer, and most important, an obsessed sports fan. I break down the best games, highlight the best stories, and interview the best from the world of women's sports. So put on your jerseys, stretch out your hammies, and let's do this. Hello, Her Lighters. It's Erin Foley back in the booth talking women's sports. If you're watching on YouTube, you will notice that my background is different today, and that's because I'm coming to you live from a hotel room in Miami, Florida. I'm doing some stand-up shows for my favorite travel company, Atlantis Events, and we're headed on a cruise to the Caribbean, or what was a cruise to the Caribbean, but Hurricane Melissa, little evil biatch, she's churning up the waters down there. Not a great time to be on a boat. Anyway, so new ports. We're going to Mexico and adjacent, whatever. It's a boat filled with all gay men having the time of their life. So sign me up. And also, because I'm leaving on a ship, I'm recording this podcast on Saturday, October 25th. So I'm going to miss, a U.S. Women's National Team on Sunday. I'm going to miss some sports. So this will air, of course, on Monday. So if you're like, hey, Foley, you missed this and this, it's because I'm recording 2 days early. But my God, we have so much to cover. So let's just jump right in. Okay, in case you missed it, last Thursday, I recorded an episode with baseball announcer CJ Silas, who was in Washington, D.C. for the new Women's Professional Baseball League tryouts in August. Definitely listen to the conversation. She's an incredible storyteller. She had like the time of her life announcing games down there. Anyway, a couple of days after we recorded the WPBL, that's Women's Professional Baseball League, which starts next year, they announced the cities where the teams are going to be at. Okay, so it's 4 teams, at least. I said 6 last Thursday because that's what they were promoting, but I think maybe it's 4 right now. We'll see. TBD. They announced the cities, LA, San Francisco, New York, and Boston, which is very exciting. Honestly, I was a little surprised that all 4 teams are in like major cities, but maybe it's like go big or go home philosophy. I was thinking there probably maybe, like 2 smaller cities or like, I don't know, middle of the country and then 2 coasts. But listen, LA, San Francisco, New York, and Boston, huge sports cities, huge baseball cities. So maybe that was the thinking. Sign me up. I'm so freaking excited. So anyway, I'll keep you updated. They're rolling out more information week by week. Names of teams, coaches, rosters. There's a draft, all the good stuff. CJ also is about to attend the draft and announce the draft. She just texted me. So all kinds of women's baseball stuff coming up, which is, so feel good. It's ridiculous. All right, let's talk soccer. U.S. Women's National Team back in action last week. Ooh, what a stinker. 2-1 loss to Portugal. You guys, we have never lost to Portugal ever. I say we, obviously, because I'm part of the team. I'm not panicking at all. I mean, listen, this is a year of throwing the kitchen sink onto the field. We've got all these like new, amazing young stars. Also, our team is like, we're knee deep in NWSL season. We have next week is our last regular season. These players are exhausted. We also had no Gurma. We had no triple espresso, which is Sophia Smith, Trinity Rodman, and Mallory Swanson. I still have so much trouble when they get married and change their names. I hate it, but that's okay. Anyway, no shade also on Portugal. Portugal came out there on fire and just took it. So a huge congratulations to Portugal. I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying there's a lot of stuff going on. Portugal, 2 goals on set pieces. Again, good for us because we need to get our, shit together on set pieces, but no Gurma. I'm just saying. I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying. And so anyway, huge learning curve for us. But Emma Hayes, she had some really good quotes. But, Lindsay Heaps, basically Lavelle, who scored immediately. She's always fantastic. But Lavelle and Heaps said the same thing. They were kind of playing on islands. It was very, individual performance, not playing as a team. But again, they haven't played together, right? Their last match was 113 days ago. So obviously, new players, not a lot of cohesion. Listen, we'll get there. There's 609 days until the 2027 World Cup. We're fine. Nobody panic. Check out this stat though. Third loss of 2025 only happened four other times in 40 years. I mean, that's how good we are. We are so spoiled. The whole time I was watching that Portugal match, I'm like, clearly we're going to win. Clearly we're going to come back. So listen, the losses are good sometimes. So, Emma's going to have that team like whipped into shape soon. She said, "It's a game of football. No one died. We've got to get better. And I promise we will be better. We will be better." I love her. Anyway, so looking ahead, U.S. Women's National Team plays New Zealand on Thursday, October 30th. Watch the game in your Halloween costume. That would be super fun. Okay, NWSL Decision Day next Sunday. Oh, this is like one of my favorite games. Okay, so if you're an NWSL fan, you know this. If you're a new fan or just a new listener or whatever, jump in next Sunday. All 14 teams play at the same time. This is always a very fun day. It's the last day of the regular season. We've got playoff implications, and they all play at the same time. So no one, tanks a game or no one knows anything. Everybody plays at the same time. Here's a couple matches and here's some implications. For the final playoff berth, Racing Louisville is in with a win. Okay. They play Bay FC. I'm cheering hardcore for Racing Louisville because they've never been in the playoffs before. Or North Carolina Courage still has a shot if they win and Louisville loses. And North Carolina is playing Gotham, and Gotham is really good, and Gotham is playing for home field advantage. So all these top teams, right, they're playing for home field. Right now, we only have KC Current and Washington Spirit that have home field advantage through the playoffs, or through the semifinals, sorry. And then you've got Orlando and Seattle. They're third and fourth right now. They're playing each other. These games are going to be so good. Again, if you don't have a team, pick one, jump in, write it out. The level of play is going to be absolutely fantastic. So that's next Sunday, November 2nd, last day of the regular season, Decision Day. So dramatic. God, I love it. Rounding out the soccer news, U.S. Soccer officially announced a joint CONCACAF bid with Mexico, Costa Rica, and Jamaica to host the 2031 FIFA Women's World Cup. First of its kind regional partnership across North America and Caribbean. I mean, can you stand it? We might get the cup in 2031. I mean, no one else is going to bid. That's just my opinion. Maybe I read it somewhere. I don't know. Can you imagine? I'm so freaking pumped for this. If you don't know what CONCACAF is, that's the governing body for soccer in North America, Central America, and the Caribbean. Like it oversees all the national team tournaments, the club competition, World Cup qualifiers. I'm sure you've watched the CONCACAF games, but anyway, just wanted to break that down. 41 countries, including US, Mexico, Jamaica, and Costa Rica. That's why they're joined together because they're in CONCACAF. I mean, let alone, just getting excited for World Cup games in our own country. Who doesn't want to like get on a plane and go to Costa Rica and like surf? I've never surfed and then go watch a women's soccer game. I can't freaking wait. Okay, you guys, WNBA. I know the season is over, but there is some drama between Adam Silver and Terry Jackson. Let me break this down. So Terry Jackson, as you know, okay, first of all, Terry Jackson is the WNBA Players Association rep, right? So this is the battle for the collective bargaining agreement, which expires on October 31st. So they have basically like a week left to get this deal made, and it's not looking good. Part of this whole push on the player side is to get revenue share. Like the league is making a ton more money and media rights, and they're seeing the lowest percentage of this, right? League growing players need to get paid. So all of a sudden, Adam Silver is like, revenue share isn't the right way to look at it. Claims they've offered uncapped revenue sharing tied to league performance. Anyway, he's like, no, that's not true. Don't believe what they're saying. And now Terry Jackson, here's a verbatim quote, which I'm obsessed with. When the players opted out a year ago, they made it clear they wanted a salary system that values their labor and allows them to grow with the business they are very clearly driving. The league's response has been to run out the clock, put lipstick on a pig, and retread a system that isn't tied to any part of the business and intentionally undervalues the players. I mean, epic mic drop from Terry Jackson, who has been incredible. If you don't know Terry Jackson, do a deep dive on Terry Jackson. She has repped these players and been an incredible force driving the WNBA Players Association. Lipstick on a pig. I'm sorry. That is one of my all-time favorite expressions. I haven't said it in so long. I'm bringing it back in. Everybody, here's your homework because I was watching every sport possible on the women's side or men's, but really women's. Start using putting lipstick on a pig. Here's another one that I just thought of that my dad, RIP, used to say all the time. You look like a nickel's worth of God help us. I mean, come on. That's your homework. Start using those phrases. So yeah, just a battle, publicly battle. Like, Kathy, obviously Engelbert, like she's just on the downward slope. Adam Silver, who I do like, but he's got to protect his own interests, but also you've got to pay the players. I'm really, really, truly hoping they can get this deal done by the end of the week. But I mean, lipstick on a pig, not looking good. Okay, coaching carousel. There has been 4 major hires just like in the last week. So let's talk about that. Toronto Tempo scooping up Sandy Brondello, inaugural head coach. This is absolutely huge for Toronto. I love this so much. If you don't know, Sandy Brondello was the coach of the New York Liberty. All she did was come in and literally win the first championship for New York. They made the playoffs, they made the finals, and she just got unceremoniously booted in the off season, literally a month ago. And then as soon as she gets let go, I think it was Becky Hammond, another coach, probably Stephanie White, I think from Indiana. And they're like, well, if you're Portland or Toronto, there's a gift. Anyway, Portland will get to Toronto scoops her up. This is I, I love this. I love this so much for Toronto. You've got an expansion team. You've got maybe a CBA, maybe not. If the CBA, start if they don't get a deal done to November, December, like it's going to be so difficult. This offseason is already like Wild West in women's basketball. So to hire someone with so much experience and like 2 titles, which is I can't express enough how much this is absolutely huge for Toronto. She comes in and just kind of is like, I'm a winner. I'm going to stabilize this. And I think it's like really exciting, obviously, in her career that she gets to build it from the ground up. I love this. I love this so much. Okay, next up, 2 men got hired. Jose Fernandez from the Dallas Wings and Alex Sarama was named the Portland coach. And up until about 24 hours ago, I was just like, oh, this is just, listen, no slight on either of them, although the Portland one we'll discuss. I think that is a wild pick. It's just this clamoring of just like, why aren't there more Black women coaches? It's like there are so many available, right? Teresa Weatherspoon, Nola Henry, Lindsay Harding, Christy Tolliver. It's just frustrating when 70-80% of the WNBA are women of color and then there's no women of color coaching until yesterday. This was huge. Sonia Rahman, head coach of the Seattle Storm. Listen, this is huge. Officially named Seattle Storm. This was yesterday, right? Become the first person of Indian descent to serve as a WNBA head coach. She was a Liberty assistant coach. She worked for the Memphis Grizzlies 2020 to 24. Before that, she was the head coach of MIT for, 12 years. She became the program's all-time winningest coach. She was a walk-on on Tufts. She had graduated from law school. I mean, I love this. So obviously, huge congrats to Sandy Brondello and Sonia Rahman, 2 powerful females coaching the WNBA. Let's break Jose and Alex down. Listen, obviously the pressure on these teams right now as the league is expanding, the expansion teams, like we're talking hundreds of millions of dollars for the franchises. These GMs and owners are under a ton of pressure to win immediately. I totally get that. So the Jose Fernandez choice, not a wild swing at all. Obviously, he coached at University of Southern Florida for like 25 years, 12 seasons of 20 plus wins, and 9 NCAA tournament, AAC Coach of the Year twice. He's a head coach for USA Basketball youth women's team, completely qualified. However, of course, no head coaching experience in a pro league, but an established winning coach, never won a national title, never in the final four, whatever. But he, at least on paper, has credentials. Do I still want a woman in there? Absolutely. But I'm like, okay, he's really good friends with Gino Ariema. He said he's been one of my closest coaching friends for 3 decades. Obviously there's probably a tie to Paige Becker's there. Okay, I'll give you him. I don't love it, but I'll give you him. The Portland hire, I think, is absolutely wild. This is a huge swing for me. And this is where I got really annoyed. No slight on this man, absolutely whatsoever. I'm just saying he's never had head coaching experience in his life. He was an assistant coach at the NBA G League, where he did and individual development plans, practice skills. They call him like innovative, and he wants to like change the game, wrote a book on different ways, different coaching philosophies. I have an inside scoop here. I can't reveal my source, but she was just like, he doesn't have the best reputation. Like this is a wild swing. Like, to me, if you're going to hire a guy like this, which is a completely wild swing, in my opinion, then why not get Tolliver, Henry, Weatherspoon, Harding? Give them a chance. If this guy's like new and innovative, maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. Well, you've got 4 or 5 women at the very least that have WNBA unrivaled, they all played coaching experience. So to me, that pick was infuriating for head coach. Do I wish him well? Of course. I love the city of Portland. I love their tradition. I love that there's a WNBA franchise there. But that to me was too much of a wild swing to overlook these qualified women. I'm annoyed. Okay, lastly, here's your feel good moment, and then I'll queue up some fun stuff to watch. This was a amazing story. 2 British women, Jess Rowe and Miriam Payne, completed a 165-day nonstop unsupported rowing expedition across the Pacific Ocean, covering more than 8,213 nautical miles from Peru to Australia to become the first women's team to accomplish this feat. Okay, along the way, equipment failure, they had to execute major repairs. But the entire time, they are raising funds for the Outward Bound Trust to inspire a next generation of adventurers. They were doing this for a charitable cause, okay? The Outward Bound Trust, because I looked it up, it's a charity that helps young people discover their potential through outdoor adventure and challenge. They partner with schools, employers, youth groups to give young people life-changing expedition-style experiences in the wild for the goals of like team building and confidence, self-belief. I mean, can you imagine? This is so feel good. And it's like the power of women. I mean, 165 non-stop unsupported rowing expedition. Listen, I'm not going to say that's my worst nightmare, but it might be. I mean, they have equipment failure. How about whales and sharks and storms and I just keep thinking of that movie, The Perfect Storm, where here comes a wave, good night. I can't. And then the entire time they're doing it for charity. It's so feel good and it's so inspiring. I tell you what, between that Serena Williams quote, something wonderful is going to happen to me today, and these 2 women doing an unsupported rowing expedition, I'm getting up. I'm getting up earlier, people. Okay, Hurlighters, all kinds of fun stuff to watch. We got NWSL Decision Day on Sunday. Another U.S. Women's National Team game this Thursday. Also, collegiate sports. I mean, listen, we've got NCAA soccer, ice hockey, field hockey, and volleyball, all of which are winding down into playoff mode, into playoffs, into finals in November and December. So the level of play is stepping up, and you got to jump in. Coming up this Thursday, I interviewed Emma Sheik, a 2-time Paralympic gold medalist, fresh off her MVP performance and gold medal win at the 2025 Sitting Volleyball World Cup. I mentioned this last week. I went out, and when I say I went out and got her, DM'd her on Instagram. I said, come on the show. And she said yes. And she's so fun. You're going to absolutely love the conversation. Talk about inspiration. Oh my God, she's amazing. And of course, go to Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen to this podcast. Rate, review, subscribe. It's incredibly helpful. And I love reading all your comments. Fans, friends, family, have the best week of your life.